Chinese regulators are starting a months-long operation targeting what they describe as illegal or harmful uses of AI systems. And that includes AI-generated misinformation, deepfakes, fraud, fake investment schemes, identity impersonation, and synthetic content used to manipulate public opinion. The campaign is being led by China's Cyberspace Administration alongside public security agencies and industry regulators. China already has some of the world's strictest AI rules. Companies operating generative AI systems are required to register models with the regulators, label synthetic content, comply with censorship laws, and ensure outputs align with what Beijing calls socialist core values. This new campaign actually moves beyond regulation into active enforcement. And that's the important shift because globally, governments are still trying to figure out how to regulate AI. And China is already operationalizing enforcement infrastructure. And there's a reason this is happening now and happening in China. AI-generated fraud is exploding globally. And according to Deloitte, generative AI could enable up to 40 billion in fraud losses by 2027. Deepfake scams are increasing rapidly. Voice cloning attacks are becoming cheaper and more convincing. And synthetic media is creating major concerns around elections, financial systems, and social stability. China is responding aggressively because governments increasingly view uncontrolled generative AI as both economic risk and a political risk. And technically, this is hard to police because modern AI systems can generate text, audio, video, images, and code at scale. A single model can produce legitimate business content and malicious deception using the exact same infrastructure. That means regulators are no longer just targeting platforms, they're targeting model deployment itself. And this has major implications for AI companies. First, compliance costs are rising globally. AI companies increasingly need content filtering system, watermarking identity, verification audit trails, moderation teams, and model monitoring infrastructure. Second, regional AI markets are fragmented. China's regulatory model is becoming much more centralized and state-controlled than the US approach. Meanwhile, Europe is focusing heavily on transparency and risk classification through the European AI Act.